All right, guys. Um, I just finished watching Fire. I just finished watching Boy with Love. I just did that. I also did Dope and what was it? Dope and fuck, what was it? Oh, Black Swan. I did that in the past 3, 4 days. It's recent, so it's on my channel. Check them out. Um, I've seen this video almost anytime I'm doing anything with BTS. I've watched my own reaction videos to other BTS songs because I enjoy it too. Um, and I always see this video pop up, and I don't have a clue what it's about, but I feel like it's important and I should watch it. Um, Shit, what was I about to say? Um, this is a long ass video. What was I going to say though? Fuck, I lost my train of thought a little bit. Um, But yeah, oh, that's right, that's right. So, in terms of my awareness with BTS, pretty good. When I first started with Butter, I got them mixed up a lot. Since then, I've learned a lot more about them. I can recognize all of them, no matter what their hairstyle, what they're wearing. I can tell the difference. I know who does what. I know all that kind of stuff now. So, I'm definitely a lot more equipped than I was when I first started. So I don't know if this is like something where it's uh some more history about them, not for sure. But again, I feel like I should just know what this is about. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Because it's a long video, before I get started with it, three things to say. One, follow me on Twitch if you like gaming. Playing The Last was part one, then I do part two, then Miles Morales, some Uncharted 4, stuff like that. So follow me on Twitch for that stuff. The shirt, look at the shirt, look at the shirt. Yeah, it's just clean. Um, got the homie, he's gonna watch a video with us, and I don't know if anyone is into any kind of anime, but like Demon Slayer is something different, bro. That show fucking slaps. I already finished. Well, I'm up to date with it, but like I had only watched Death Note before as an anime, and then Demon Slayer. I'm sure some of you have heard about it, or a good amount of you have, and probably thought about watching it. Watch that shit. Yeah, yeah, you want to watch that. You want to watch that. And there is a movie at the end of the first season, in case you didn't know. But anyway, that's completely off topic. I just love it so much. But yeah, we're gonna get into this. I'm actually really excited because I really want to know what this is about. So let's get started. I don't think I'm going to pause it too much. Hopefully, I don't have to because it's already 30 minutes. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Today, everyone knows the name of BTS. They've
Who the
been
fuck are
invited
you?
onto late night
I'm just
talk shows,
joking.
they've shattered records, they've sold out stadiums, they've made it onto the big screen. These days, you'd be hard pressed to find someone who didn't know who these guys were, or at least haven't heard one of their songs. And if they don't, either they've been living under a rock or they're 100 years old. The success of the Bangtan Boys is worldwide, but it
Hmm.
wasn't always like this. And it all started with one man, YG. YG wanted to make himself a rap group. In the late 90s, he experimented with this idea with different trainees, eventually choosing 7 members. And while 3 of them
Hmm.
eventually left, the remaining 4, Teddy, Danny, Jinhwan, and Baekhyun, debuted in 1998 as One Time. Their first album, titled One for Your Mind, was one of the year's best-selling albums and won several awards, including the Global Disc and SBS Music Awards for Best New Artist and
That
KMTV's
quality,
award for
holy
Best
shit.
Hip-Hop Artist. The group enjoyed moderate success and released 4 more albums before going on indefinite hiatus in 2006 due to their
Ooh.
mandatory military service. The year was
Speaking of speaking of that, so the homies, right? All the homeboys we know today, are they going to have to serve military time? I think every military or every Korean male has to at some point, but I think they were able to have some time. They can go into that later because of what they're doing because they're so big. But like once their contract ends with Big Hit, right? I'm pretty sure is what it is. Are they going to have to serve? In which case, I hope they're okay. You know what I mean? Like, how do you think it would be like the other, uh, people that they'll be serving with? Like, obviously they're going to know who they are, so I wonder what their reaction is going to be. The homies are like, they're just so pretty. I can't see it, but I think they would have to. That's crazy.
2010, and the 5-year-old company Big Hit Entertainment had previously signed two artists, 88 and 2AM. They had their share of successes,
What
but
the
they were
fuck?
very traditional K-pop groups. Big Hit wanted a fresh new sound, and upon
So
listening
they
to
just
One
dumped the
Time,
homies.
CEO
Tough.
Hitman Bang Si-hyuk had decided that that was the sound that he was looking for. And on top of that, the youth needed someone to relate to, and more
Mm.
importantly, look up to. He had decided he would create a hip-hop group.
Of course, you play mic drop in the background.
At 15 years old, Kim Namjoon auditioned for a certain Big Deal Records, which he completely botched, forgetting the lyrics to the song he was performing. Afterwards, fellow
Oh.
rapper Sleepy recommended that he try auditioning at another label, Big Hit, and he
Also, I just want to say this. It's crazy how you don't know, like, as you're going through your journey of anything in life, how certain interactions can shape your future that you would have no idea would have happened if they didn't come into your life. If this guy didn't come into RM's life, would BTS be where they are right now? And that could apply to just so many different things in life. Like, say you know someone that can get you like an inside track to a job or something, right? Or you meet your spouse in a place you never thought you would, or you meet someone only because of someone else recommended, to see them or whatever. Like, actually, like, it's just so trippy to me because it's like say finding a spouse. It's like you want to find one, but they always say it just happens. And even though that's true, it still sucks because it's like, fuck, I want to know, like, when is it gonna happen? But you just had to just live your life, and then it just happens. But then you start overthinking, like say you always go to the gym like every Monday or something, right? But say one day you decide not to go to the gym on that Monday. What if that one time you would have met like your spouse? You know what I mean? Like that shit just really it really makes you think about that kind of stuff. Just, chances and, fate, shit like that. Like it's crazy. It's not even 2 minutes in and I've been recording for 7 minutes. I got
even put
I
in a
gotta
good
keep this
word for
shit
him
moving.
to one of the producers there. At age 16, Kim auditioned in front of Bang Si-hyuk himself and instantly impressed him. He was offered a deal with Big Hit on the spot, which Kim accepted and became a trainee, officially choosing a name for himself, Rap Monster, destined to
Mhm.
become the leader of the newly created group.
What
Now
is
that his
that
fearless leader
hair?
was chosen, they needed more
Oh,
members.
I love him so much.
Min Young-gi was a 17-year-old living in Daegu, an avid
I
basketball
love him
player
so
and
much.
rapper. He had been interested in music, especially rap, from a very early age. And despite his parents' disapproval, started performing as a rapper while still in high school.
Yeah,
He
I
quickly
know
gained
this whole
attention
story.
as a rapper and producer in the underground hip-hop scene. One day he saw a flyer for a rap competition called Hit It and decided to participate. And although he only placed second, the company hosting the competition,
Is that
you
him?
guessed
Whoa! Holy shit! Is that him? No fucking way.
it, Big Hit,
Dude's like a fucking pineapple.
decided to sign him on as a producer. Hitman Bang spoke with him afterwards, convincing him to join a newly created hip-hop group. He told him to just focus on
Fuck.
rapping and assured him that he wouldn't need to dance. He was
Hmm.
lying. And just like that, the new group had a second member, known
That's kind of funny.
Young
So what
Tae,
did he
to
tell him?
sign him on as a producer. Hitman Bang spoke with him afterwards,
Right, it's a
convincing him to
producer.
join a
Right.
newly created hip-hop group. He told him to just focus on rapping and assured him that he wouldn't need to dance. He was lying. And just like that, the new group had a second member,
I
known
love that.
as Suga, a combination of the first two syllables of shooting guard, his favorite
That's
position
right.
in basketball. But they wouldn't stop there. Rappers were nice, but Big Hit actually
Wait, can I see his
known
form?
as Suga, a combination of the first two syllables of shooting guard, his favorite position in basketball. But they wouldn't stop there. Rappers were nice, but Big Hit actually needed a dancer.
I must say, enter J Hope, enter my boy, enter my
Jung Ho
boy.
Suk always loved dancing. He was in the starting lineup of the dance crew Neuron in his hometown, Gwangju. He was good at it too, winning several local championships and even winning a championship at the national level in 2008. When he
It's
decided to
amazing
audition
how
for
people can
JYP
just have a
Entertainment
glow up.
though, after a few rounds of auditions, he was cut. Fortunately, he didn't give up and went to his second option, a
Man,
smaller,
that's crazy.
lesser-known company, Big Hit Entertainment. His dance skills and strong understanding of rhythm made him an instant favorite, and he was signed on as J-Hope. Not only that, but they saw potential in him to become a rapper, which at this point he had little experience with. However,
Oh wait, word? I thought he was always a rapper. I knew he was a dancer, but I thought he was always a rapper too. I didn't know that.
J-Hope quickly felt that he wasn't a good fit and decided to leave Big.
That's actually really impressive. Rapping is hard. Having shit to say, actual shit to say, not just filler. And dude does a good job.
Hit until RM convinced both J-Hope and Big Hit that the group wouldn't be complete without him. He was right.
RM, bro. Bless his heart.
With the addition of J-Hope, the rap line was complete. Now they needed some singers. Now, just like how RM, an amazing rapper with a ton of experience, was chosen as the first official member of the rap line, it would only make sense that a legendary singer and dancer would be the perfect first member of the vocal line. Right?
So enter V or Jimin? No, Jin. Really?
But Kim So-jin didn't have any sort of experience like that.
Right.
Believe it or not, one day when he was walking on the streets of his hometown, Anyang, he was approached by a representative of SM Entertainment with an offer to work for the company. In typical Jin fashion, he never followed up with them because he believed it to be a scam. Apparently, Jin was a very good-looking guy because years later, this time as a college student in Seoul, he was once again approached on the street, this time by an executive at Big Hit Entertainment.
I fucking wish. Hello? Shit.
He didn't sing, he didn't dance. He was at school to become an actor, and he decided to audition to become an
really?
actor. Big Hit, however, had different plans for him, and convinced him to become a vocalist for their new group. To do
How
so,
the hell did
he
they manage
literally learned
that?
to dance and sing starting from zero, but thankfully, not without help from other vocalists. John Jungkook initially had dreams of becoming a badminton player when he was young, but after seeing G-Dragon perform Heartbreaker on
That's fun.
television, it influenced him to want to become a singer instead. Because of this,
That's
at
fun.
only age 14, he decided to audition for the South Korean talent show, Superstar K. He didn't pass auditions, but this was just enough to
Look at him.
talent show, Superstar K.
Look at him. Oh my fuck, dude. Look
He
at him.
didn't pass auditions, but this
Hold
was
up. Did I wash my hands today? Fuck. Fuck. Bro, why is motherfucker so cute?
just enough to catch the eye of not one company, not two companies, but 7 different companies. This included JYP, FNC, Woollim, Starship Entertainment, TS, Cube, and of course, Big Hit Entertainment.
Alright, I got paused it there again. All of those names. Like, if he would have went with any of those other companies, he would not be where he is at today. And looking back, obviously he made the right decision, but it's like that's so crazy how at the moment you don't know how big of a decision you're about to make is until years later. That's crazy.
So why did Jungkook, given the choice of all these bigger companies, decide to go with the relatively smaller company, Big Hit? The answer was simple. Because he thought, and I quote, RM was cool, so I wanted to sign with them. That brings the number of members to 5. The next member of BTS was just as
Fuck
surprised
outta
to find
here.
Big Hit as Big Hit was to find him, and it almost didn't happen.
I love him.
Kim Taeyong was
Also,
as Big
I
Hit
want to
was
go back
find
to
him, and it almost didn't
his
happen.
one scene for Dynamite. Dynamite was the song that got me into BTS, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? He looks fantastic." Well, now I know. I knew it was V, but I
Kim
mean,
Taeyong
right
was
then
always
before I
passionate about
didn't know.
music, and it was always his dream to pursue it as a career. However, it was hard, as his family was poor, his parents being humble farmers. His father told him that if he was passionate about music, he should learn an instrument, and he did, spending 3 years practicing with the saxophone. One day, one of his friends decided to audition for Big Hit Entertainment when they were holding auditions in his hometown of Daegu. Taeyong, being a good friend, came with him to keep him company, but when one of the team members in charge of the audition saw Taeyong, he encouraged him to audition as well. With nothing to lose, He did. That day, he was the only one in Daegu to move on to the next round of auditions, and eventually became a trainee for Big Hit Entertainment. They decided to keep him as a surprise member and didn't want to reveal him as one of the members until his debut. In the same vein, Big Hit had him choose something mysterious for his stage name. He decided to go with
Oh,
V for victory.
word. That's how he got that.
Round number to stop, right? 6
Dude,
members
that's
for a new
nice.
hip-hop group, 3
I love
rappers
that.
and 3 vocalists. It seems like a complete group, but
Nah,
still there was
you know who you need. We know who we need.
One was missing. Someone that
We
could
know
take
who
this
we
already
need.
great group of
Yup.
artists and push
Let
it
me
even
show him. Let me
further
see him.
to achieve
Come on.
perfection. A powerhouse. Someone so naturally talented that they could stand out in a room full of already talented
Yeah.
artists.
Let me
This
see him.
project that
Come
Big
on.
Hit had embarked upon needed a capstone.
Yeah, let me see him. Let me see him. Yup. 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 Yup.
Park
Yup.
Jimin was a naturally talented dancer. When he was
Yes,
in middle
sir.
school, he attended a dance academy and continued to pursue dance at Busan High School of Arts, where he studied contemporary dance.
I didn't know
and
he-
was the
oh,
top
yeah,
student
right,
in the
okay.
whole modern dance department.
Right.
Impressed by his raw talent, a teacher encouraged him to audition for Big Hit Entertainment, who were holding auditions in Busan. He was only 16 when he passed the audition and moved to Seoul to become a trainee. He was the final member of the group, and he also had the shortest training period. What's interesting to note is that the group feels very much ragtag because, in a sense, with the exception of Jimin, it was. RM and J-Hope only auditioned for Big Hit.
Hold
because, in a
up.
sense,
He
with the
built like
exception of
that?
Jimin, it
What
was.
the hell?
RM and
Alright.
J-Hope only auditioned for Big Hit because they didn't pass their auditions with the first company they chose. And despite their amazing talent, Suga and Jungkook didn't win the competitions they were in, but they signed on to Big Hit after the
I
fact.
cannot believe this motherfucker is Nah.
for Big
He
Hit
said
because
sugar,
they
right?
didn't pass their auditions with the first company they chose. And despite their amazing talent, Suga and Jungkook didn't win the competitions
Fuck.
they were in, but they signed on to Big Hit after the fact because of their high-quality performances. V never even planned on auditioning and just decided to do it on a whim, and they literally just found
That's true,
Jin
though.
on the streets. But
That's
perhaps it
true.
was fate, because this
That's true.
was the group that they chose. And just like
That's
that,
true.
in 2012, the newly created Bangtanso년dan, the Bulletproof Boy Scouts, or simply BTS.
That was legit the trend. That's tough.
저도 아침에 리허설 때 이거 보고 많이 웃었습니다.
They had the group, but they still needed the music. In early 2013, they set out to create some social media presence for themselves before officially debuting, posting song covers on both SoundCloud and YouTube, which you can still go watch today. In May, Big Hit launched a countdown clock on their website in preparation for BTS's debut album, complete with a trailer and a ton of promotional material, including photos for the first time of all the members in the official lineup.
That's definitely very important.
Finally, the big day came. June 12th, 2013. BTS held a press conference and a debut showcase where they performed their 2 singles,
Look at
No
Jimin.
More Dream and We Are Bulletproof Part 2.
I cannot believe that was his hair. There's no way. How did it? That's not natural, is it?
Dream and We Are Bulletproof Part 2.
No, is that? I'm sorry. Like I've no idea. There's no way that was natural, right? And if it is, how the fuck did it get to where it is now? And if it's not, I would have never thought that that would work so well. He looks not even Korean. He looks. I don't. That just looks nut. Yo, this is blowing my mind.
The same day, the Too Cool for School album, as well as the music video for No More Dream, were released. The very next day, BTS
gosh.
performed the song again on their official debut stage on Mnet's M Countdown. This was the world's first taste of BTS. Commercially, the album didn't do extraordinarily well. The lead single, No More Dream, peaked at 124 in Korea, and the album sold only 24,000 copies during its first year. Bulletproof Part 2 didn't even chart. The first year wasn't all that great for BTS, but despite everything, people saw them.
Think about how that might have. I wonder if that hurt their confidence. You know, especially like the guys that were just thrown together in there. Like, man, why did I do this? You know, I wonder.
People saw the sparkle in their eyes and their limitless potential. And they were hot, of course. On July 9th, ARMY was established as BTS's official fandom. They
So
made
they
their
called him
comeback only
Army
2
right then
months
and
later in
there.
September when they released
Interesting.
their single No, along with their EP Part 2 of what would be their school trilogy, Oh, Are You Late Too? In the music video for the single, they made a commentary on the harsh Korean education system, along with their previous themes of hopes and dreams. No peaked at 92 in Korea, but also quickly fell off the charts. The album debuted at number 4 on the Gaon Weekly chart and was the 55th best-selling album in South Korea that year. This was
Hey,
enough to secure them the coveted New Artist of the Year award at the Melon Music Awards, the Golden Disc Awards, and the Seoul Music Awards. Part 3 of the School Trilogy was released in February of 2014, the EP School Love Affair. This time, the lead single was Boy in Love, and the other single being Just One Day. The album, as well as both singles, enjoyed moderate success.
Even way back then when they're just starting off, they have great videos. It might seem plain, but it speaks a lot. It
With the
speaks a
album
lot.
topping the Gaon album chart, as well as making its first international appearance at number 3 on the Billboard World Albums chart. The album also marked their first distinctive change in theme, focusing more on school life and young love, as evidenced by their Boy in Love music video. They also held their first fan meetings with a crowd of 3,000 in Seoul. BTS was doing
That's cool.
well. That is, until July. This is, unfortunately, a dark chapter in the lives of BTS and
Oh
ARMY.
fuck.
That's
Dang.
right.
Why?
American Hustle Life. I'm joking, of course, but American Hustle Life was a reality show put together by Mnet that brought BTS to Los Angeles, where they had the unique opportunity to learn the true ways of hip-hop from the masters.
I think I remember this video. Didn't they do like a thing where like they scared the shit out of them or something? Right? Also, I know their English probably wasn't that great at that time, so just thrown to Los Angeles like that?
And it was a pretty darn cringy opportunity, but an opportunity nonetheless. Whatever you do, just don't watch the Warren G version of Boy in Love. You've been warned. However, cringe and all, the trip proved fruitful for BTS, making connections, performing their first US concert for free in front of 200 fans, as well as their first appearance at KCON. The next month, in August, BTS released their first full-length studio album, Dark and Wild. The album featured 2 singles, Danger and War of Hormones.
War of Hormones. Oh hell.
The album featured a marked shift in sound with a touch of R&B and electronica. It was met with moderate success. It peaked at number 2 in Korea, selling over 200,000 albums.
That's great.
In October
Said
and again
moderate
in May
success.
of the following
Fuck.
year, BTS went on their first and
It's number
second
2.
concert tours, known as the Red Bullet Tour, where they visited 13 different countries, including Japan, the Philippines, Australia, the US, Mexico, and many others. They also came out with their first Japanese album in December, Wake Up, featuring many Japanese versions of their songs, as well as original tracks Wake Up and The Stars, followed by a Japan tour and a solo concert in Korea. Although Dark and Wild got decent attention, they needed something different. They needed something that would shake things up. They got to work. April 29, 2015 was their comeback. When this album was produced, each member had a hand in writing
2015.
songs for the album. They
That's
again
crazy.
changed their sound, from aggressive hip-hop to youthful, colorful styles. And not only their sound, but their image as well. This can be evidenced by their newest EP, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life. And just by looking at the album cover, they ditched the dark colors and the bulletproof vest symbol that had become so synonymous with BTS, and replaced it with a simple white and pink background overlaid with the title. And then, they dropped the single that would change everything. I Need You. It was sentimental, it was hopeful, it was new.
Sounds
Just
good.
by looking at the music video, we can see that BTS has also ditched their punk bad boy image and replaced it with a more real, vulnerable, down-to-earth, and youthful feel. This proved to be the change that BTS needed for mainstream success. Billboard called it one of the greatest K-pop songs of the decade. It charted at number 5 in Korea, and even led them to their first music show win on SBS MTV's The Show. And that wasn't all, they released their second single, Dope, on June 24th.
So, the reason why this kind of hits is because the fact that Dope was like their second. I'm assuming once he finished talking, their second like main successful song, right? At the time, they were still new. Like I thought they were already pretty well defined when the time, which I guess I guess they kind of were. But like I didn't know like still they're just coming off of just changing their image really when Dope came out because it's like wow, that's like close to the beginning, which might explain why RM in the beginning was like hi, first time with BTS or something like it makes sense. Before I thought, oh, he's being funny, but like legit, like it probably was. That's
Both
wild.
which started off with a poignant line from RM.
어서 와.
What did I just say?
처음이지?
Welcome. Is this your first time with BTS? And you know what? For a lot of people, it
Yeah.
was. In a way,
Yeah.
their first studio album and tour can be seen as their stepping stone between old school BTS and new school. In November, they came back with their follow-up EP, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Part 2, the second EP in what would be dubbed the Youth Trilogy, which featured the single Run. The album focused even more on the frivolity, friendship, and carefree attitude that comes with enjoying one's youth, but just like in I Need You, contrasted that with suffering, depression, loneliness, society, and the stark and sometimes dark reality of life. Compare this with the Far Cry
I might have to
the
watch
No
this
More
video, to
Dreams
be
music
honest.
video. It felt real. It was darker, grittier, more humble, more meaningful, and most importantly, RM lost his mohawk. Run also connected narratively with their previous single, I Need You, and another video released in September titled Onstage Prologue established what would come to be known as the BTS universe, or the BU, which would eventually combine music
Marvel?
videos,
Hello?
short films, books, short stories, webtoons, and even a mobile game to create a cohesive story. And I won't go down this rabbit hole because there is a lot to digest, but it's definitely something to look into if you're a hardcore ARMY. The same month, they kicked off their third tour, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life Onstage Tour, where they performed songs from their two recent EPs, Part 1 and Part 2. And Part 2 was a hit, their biggest so far. It topped the weekly Gaon album and Billboard World Albums charts, and on Billboard, it stayed there for multiple weeks, the first
Wow.
K-pop act to do so. It also appeared on the Billboard 200 albums chart, not world albums, which is reserved for foreign non-English songs, but simply the
Wait, hold on. I just kind of just had a hit a little bit. 2015 was when I graduated high school and I went to college in basically the last few months of 2015. So BTS was still kind of gaining a foothold. Like obviously they're huge now, right? Exponential or you know what I mean? But for me, like college doesn't seem that far away, even though I just started graduate school, so I'm still in college. But in 2006, 15, and 16, um, that feels still kind of close because I'm still in the same, spot as I was then. But the fact that BTS was just then kind of getting like a bigger foothold on the world at that time, but they weren't as huge as they are now, not even really close. It's kind of crazy because that it has not been that long.
top 200 albums, peaking at 171, which is kind of amazing considering that this was back in 2015. They also received Best World Performer at the 17th Mnet Asian Music Awards. This brings us to part 3 of the Youth Trilogy, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Young Forever, released on May 2nd, 2016, which featured probably my favorite BTS album cover. Young Forever was actually a compilation album of parts
Reminds
1
me of the
and 2,
Galaxy
so
S4
it was mostly the same songs, but it was notable
wallpaper.
that it had some new singles,
Shout out if
Epilogue,
you remember
Young
that.
Forever, Fire, and Save Me. The latter two performed exceptionally well, with both songs topping the Billboard World Digital Songs chart, tracked from
Fire,
the previous
yeah.
3 EPs. It happened. BTS dropped their second studio album, Wings. It sold over 500,000
This when Black
copies
Swan
in its
came?
first week. In comparison, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life
Wait,
Part
in its
1,
first
released
week?
just the previous year, which topped the Gaon chart, sold about 500,000 in its entire lifetime. Wings was big, but the true showstopper was its lead single, Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Ah, ho, ho, hoo, hoo. Ooh, boy. So, it's a lot to unpack here. Um, yeah. First of all, did it turn on? All right, that's number one. Number two, this song is fantastic. It's a great song, but I didn't know that this was like what really took them off. where they just really took off because not only was the video incredible, but the vocals, the dancing was incredible, and Jimin. Play the whole thing,
which
please.
got
No, please keep playing. Look at this motherfucker,
them
dude.
their first all-kill, topping 8 music charts in South Korea. Its music video gained 6 million views in the first 24
I love. So what really defines this song is what Jimin does just then before it goes to like that sound. Like I don't know, that
kill,
just seems so
topping 8
iconic to me.
music charts in South Korea. Its
Um,
music video gained 6 million
this
views in
part
the
right
first
here,
24 hours, which broke the
that part
YouTube
just
record
seems
for
so
the highest
iconic.
number.
Maybe because that was probably Jimin's era at that time, I would think. So that's like really like iconic for me because I think the first song I heard from BTS was Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Um, but not through my own research. I think I might have saw it in a recommended video or maybe watched a reaction to it. I don't know. But that was, I think, the first song I actually heard from them. So obviously the song, you know, branched out and got people invested or, let people know who they were a little bit.
Reviews of a K-pop group music video within 24 hours. The album hit number
Mhm.
26 on the Billboard 200, the highest ever charting K-pop album on Billboard. They ended up selling 1.5 million copies in South Korea in 2016 alone, and it netted
I,
them the Artist of the Year award at the Mnet Asian Music Awards that
I
same
feel like
year.
because of how important that song is, I really feel like it should be the most viewed BTS song. Besides maybe I guess their first song or I don't know, their first main good album. But I just feel like this song is just what really catapulted them where I feel like it should have the most views of all
The
BTS
first
songs.
non-Big Three artist ever to receive that award.
수상자는 방탄소년단.
Literally, if
After
I was
Blood,
them
Sweat,
right
and
now, I
Tears,
would probably
they
be
were
on the
on a
verge of
roll.
crying,
BTS
low key.
was unstoppable. In February of 2017, they released the instant hit. They were on a roll. BTS. After Blood, Sweat, and Tears, they were on a roll.
That was 2016, right? 2016 was maybe it was just me, but I feel like 2016 was such a great year for just a lot of things. I feel like 2016 was just an excellent year, if I'm correct. Maybe it's just me, but a lot of great things happened in 2016, at least in my life.
BTS was unstoppable. In February of 2017, they released the instant hit Spring Day, which, quoting a Korean reviewer,
He is crying.
embodied
I would too.
nostalgia and sorrow and opened a new chapter in BTS's aesthetics and lyricism and attracted fans across generational boundaries. Which, by the way, is still on Korean charts after nearly 4 years. And the same day I'm writing this, it ranked number
What?
53 on Melon. It won Song of the Year at the 9th Melon Music Awards. After the release of Spring Day, they went on yet another tour, the 2017 BTS Live Trilogy, Episode 3, The Wings Tour. The tickets sold out within minutes, including in the United States, the first K-pop artist to do so, and went
Also, I think that's just so crazy, especially again the guys that were just thrown into the group to now see where they're at now. Man, man, I feel like I want to live that life too, but I don't, but I do.
on to win Best Social Artist at the Billboard Music Awards, the first for a Korean artist, but they would go on to win this award 4 years in a row. The next year was a period of massive growth for both the group's popularity as well as their style. They released the Love Yourself series, starting with Love Yourself Her in September of 2017, Love Yourself Tear in May of 2018, and Love Yourself Answer in August of 2018. 3 albums that gave us some of the most
18.
classic BTS songs that we know and love today, such as Mic Drop,
Although I really prefer the Steve Aoki version so much. Steve Aoki. I love that version.
Fake Love, Euphoria, Idol, and of course, all 3 albums were commercial successes. Her being their first album to top 2 million album sales. But Tear and Answer also did equally well. These 3 albums, as well as their Japanese album, Face Yourself, proved that they weren't done yet, not even close. During this time, they shattered countless records. Their singles went platinum, they topped charts, they won awards. And not only did they break YouTube records, but they broke records that they themselves set again and again and again.
Again, exponential, right? When Blood, Sweat, and Tears came out, it just shit went like this. You know what I mean? You know, you just need that one song, that one experience, that one, instance, and then it can just take off. I could go for
This
a lot
is the
of
period
different
where
things.
BTS really started enjoying global recognition, working with huge Western artists such as Nicki Minaj, Designer, and Steve Aoki. It wasn't their first time having international features on their songs, but it was definitely the biggest. And even though they were already, without a doubt, the biggest act to ever come out of South Korea, they had their eyes set even higher. They went on tour once again for the Love Yourself World Tour. During this tour, they collaborated with Steve Aoki to make the song Wasted on Me.
Oh,
Notable for being their first
Ooh.
all-English feature. And it also served as a jumping-off point for
Hold on, was that
BTS
one
to gain a
guy?
following of English speakers. Not that
I
they're
want to go back.
Map of the Soul
Wait,
persona.
what the fuck just happened?
First things
I have it
first, you
cut.
can't mention Map of the Soul persona without mentioning Boy With Love. It was simple math. What do you get when you cross the singer of one of the best charting songs of all time that went platinum 59 times in 13 different countries with, without a question, the most globally dominant pop group of all time? Well, you get this.
Well, let's go back because when I was watching, I reacted to that song like an hour ago or something for the first time, and I was like, I asked at the end, like in the comments, tell me like what the song is like actually supposed to be about. I think did he kind of just say
Without a
it?
question, the most globally dominant pop group of all time. Well, you get this. Boy With point for BTS to gain a following of English speakers. Not that they were Map of the Soul persona. First things first, you can't mention Map of the Soul persona without mentioning Boy With Love. It was simple math. What do you get when you cross the singer of one of the best charting songs of all time that went platinum 59 times in 13 different countries with, without a question, the most globally dominant pop group of all time? Well, you get this. Nothing less than an instant hit. Number 8 on Billboard Hot 100. Platinum in the US. 21 music
was-
show.
it was alright.
Number
It
1
was
on
fine.
iTunes in 67 different countries. The most liked and the most viewed YouTube video in the first
I'll be honest, wasn't my favorite, but it's
24
fine.
hours.
It's
The
fine.
fastest video to reach 100 million views. A current view count of over 1 billion views. 7 boys, 1 girl, and 7 different hair colors. They were the talk of the town, invited to talk show after talk show after talk show. The second single on the album was Make It Right. Written by Ed Sheeran himself, including a version featuring Loud. The album
I love
debuted
the
at
color
number
blue.
1 on Gaon and sold 3.2 million copies its first month, and that's only in Korea. It became the best-selling album in South Korea ever. It swept every major Korean music show, winning Album of the Year in each one of them. They followed up this legendary EP with the Love Yourself, Speak Yourself World Tour, where they sold out both the Rose Bowl and the Wembley Stadium in only an hour. The only
Still making
non-English
history.
act to do so. They even performed as a solo act in Saudi Arabia, the first foreign act to do that. The last stop of their tour
Saudi
was at South
Arabia.
Korea's
Interesting.
largest venue, the Seoul Olympic Stadium. They ended up grossing $200 million. During this time, they also created a visual novel style game for mobile devices called BTS World, where the player can interact with the members. This also came with an original soundtrack with tracks unique to the game featuring Western artists.
I bet Sugar
Zara
probably produced
Larsson,
it.
Charlie XCX, and Juice WRLD for the tracks A Brand New Day,
Ugh,
Dream Glow,
fucking
and
Rip
All
Juice,
Night,
man.
respectively. In December
Rip
of 2019,
Juice.
the group swept the grand prizes for both the Melon
Gone
and
too soon.
Mnet Music Award shows, the first artist to do that. Map of the Soul persona was legendary, truly a marvel in modern music. So,
This editing
how
of video
could
is really good,
BTS
by the way.
follow up
He did a
the
great job.
best-selling album in South Korean history, you may ask?
easy. Make
Well.
an even better selling album.
And
that's
gee, I
what they
wonder
did with
what
Map
the
of
first
Soul
song
7.
is.
The album was released on February 21st of 2020, featuring the singles Black Swan and On.
Yeah.
And sold over 4.1 million albums in just the first week, and the first Korean album to be certified as quadruple million on the Gaon Music Chart. It
What the
debuted at
hell
number
is
one on
that?
music charts all over the world, including the US, Korea, the UK, Japan, and much of Europe. It's not an exaggeration to say that this album left a permanent mark on the world, launching BTS into legendary status and becoming the best-selling artist in South Korean history. BTS
Mm.
had scheduled a Map of the Soul tour for April of that year, which would have undoubtedly outsold their record-breaking tour only a year prior. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, the COVID pandemic caused the entire tour to be postponed, including the show at the Rose Bowl, which I was supposed to attend. But that didn't
Ooh.
stop BTS, who performed virtual concerts, spoke at the Dear Class of 2020 graduation event, and released a Japanese version of their recent album with an original Japanese single, Stay Gold. And to top it all off, this was only June. At this point, it was clear that BTS had already dominated
Yes.
their home turf, and they had topped the music charts all over the world. This time, their sight was set for the very top.
All
Remember
they
that
need
scene
is
in the
their
social network where Mark and Sean
oh,
talk about how they don't want $1
yes,
million,
no.
they want $1 billion. How they're not interested in catching 14 trout, but they'd rather catch an 800-pound marlin? Well, that's what they set their sights on. The marlin, the biggest music industry in the world, the United States. And at the top of that music
And I
industry,
wonder
number
what
one
song they
on Billboard
released.
Hot 100. This small group from a company that virtually no one had heard about 8 years ago planned to take on Goliath himself and dominate the American industry on their home turf. And all they had to do was speak English.
Yeah.
August 21st. Enter Dynamite.
Mhm. Song is huge. It's a great song. I love just the feel of the song too. It's just a great feel good happy song.
Their first
Great
and
song.
only English single so far. Simultaneously performed better than anyone had expected, but at the same time is exactly what we as an audience had come to expect from the legendary boy band themselves.
Mhm.
And they did it. They reached number one
Plus,
on
I
the
love
US
the
Billboard Hot
instrumental for
100,
this song.
the Global 200, and they did it.
And
They
not to
reached number
mention
one.
that company they were in, right? Blinding Lights. Uh, that what's poppin'? You know, Watermelon Sugar too. Like, that's good
On the
company.
US Billboard Hot 100, the Global 200, and the Global Excluding US chart. And they made sure that if you hadn't heard of them before, you
About to
definitely
get
have now.
demonetized real
And
quick
if
if I
that
say that
wasn't
Cardi B
already
name.
the biggest flex. On October 2nd, they came out with Savage Love BTS remix with Jason Derulo.
Word? What? Also, what the fuck is Jason Derulo doing, by the way? What is he even doing nowadays? Last thing, the last thing I remember from the homie is like he was eating corn, and then with like a drill, and then like ended up fucking over one of his teeth. That's legit. One of his teeth, one of his yeah, a tooth or something. I don't fucking know. Some of his teeth. I forget how much damage it cost, but like that's the last thing I remember from Jason
Getting
Derulo.
number one on the Billboard Hot 100 again, less than 2 months after already getting it number one with Dynamite. And on the Global 200, where they actually replaced themselves at number one, the first artist to do so ever. So what makes BTS so special? How did they achieve all this? K-pop is a genre that spans for at least 30 years, and there have been hundreds of boy groups and hundreds of girl groups. What did BTS do to rise above all of them and break through to markets never before seen?
That's a very good
Historically,
question.
the boy band industry has been dominated by white English-speaking bands. And the fact that BTS has not only held their own, but blew any sign of competition out of the water on a global scale can be attributed to nothing less than their talent, hard work, and a bit of a 1 in a million miracle. They did it through their own blood, sweat, and tears, so to speak.
Around the world, we see that boy bands have pretty much fallen into obscurity, but BTS is thriving. And though I've stated this
They're a
all
group.
before, it's worth saying again, in contrast to other bands who would sing about romantic relationships with
Plus,
girls
they
and
need
what
each
some would
other.
call predictable bubblegum pop tunes, BTS is continuously pushing the envelope and changing their styles. According to an article by Vulture.com, they described this
Every
style
album's
as
a
much
different
less the
style, which
successors
is
of the
really
Backstreet
cool.
Boys and more of the successors of Michael Jackson, whose choreography and charisma were unprecedented. While of course there's a lot of love for the angelic vocals of BTS, rap has also played a very important part in creating their own style. In stark contrast to the typical
That's very
boy
true.
band where every member sings, it's so refreshing when you're in the middle of a song and you hear RM's raw rapping skills, J-Hope's energy,
It's
or
very
Suga's
true.
soul put into every single line.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough,
Yeah.
at the first glance, it seems
Honestly.
that the success of BTS was miraculous, despite not being part of the Big Three. But it can also be argued that their success was because of their separation from the Big Three. Their label, Big Hit Entertainment,
I just want to pause for a second. I know it's about to end, but like, Rapline was just iconic. Rapline, what Rapline did, and how they were able to elevate BTS the way they have, being like about the first, yeah, being the first members. Like, Rapline needs respect, bro. Rapline deserves respect. You know, it's kind of like I kind of look at them differently now. Now that I know how it started, what they were doing before, and now where they're at now, right? I feel like whenever I see RM, Sugar, J Hope, I just feel like I should just fucking bow. You know what I mean? Because they're just instrumental to differentiating BTS from other boy groups at the time, so boy bands at the time, like making them be more distinct from boy bands. Like the homie just said, having that rap in there just changes the whole game. It changes the whole game, and plus, I think it's honestly, um, it helped that they're based from South Korea, because say this was a group that originated in America, so say just six white guys, right? Seven white guys. There's seven of them. Seven, right? There's seven. Yeah, there's seven. Um, maybe still have three rappers or something, and then have the rest be singers. But I feel like it wouldn't hit the same. You know what I mean? I feel like them singing in Korean, that being their roots, that already kind of differentiates themselves. Like it makes them more distinct in a way where they're a boy band speaking Korean with also rap members with the group all together in one, and also good dancing too, right? And so it's like coming out of South Korea, I really did think helped them get to the status that they're at now. Because I feel like take this same story or same background and make it start from America, and I just feel like it wouldn't have that same kind of cultural hit because it's also big for them because breaking the language barrier, right? Getting big in America, like the guy said, like you have to get big in America. It's huge, and that's what they did. So the Korean thing definitely helped. It maybe also being Korean, which is still minority, right? I feel like that also helped them get to the status that they are now because of success that they've gotten from everything that they've done, And again, from the individual members um who started this thing off, right? Well, I guess the homie that even started with Big Hit and wanted to get a group, um, just everyone just plays such an important role, and just I just really think that where they came from was instrumental into getting them where they are now because it makes their accomplishments so much more it just makes it so much more like um impressive. You know what I mean? And I think is what is needed. I feel like we all needed this. And again, they only wrote Dynamite as a feel good song. Their album or their tour got canceled. They probably weren't planning on writing Dynamite, which then led to Butter and then Permission to Dance. Um, you know, but at the time that those songs came out, where at the time we were all locked away, um, that really just provided another just perfect spark. It's like they knew what to do. Like from when they started, there was a set milestone that happened that was like not planned, but it just happened and it was the right choice. And they build off of that. That's what this kind of makes me feel like. So if the pandemic didn't happen, would they have released Dynamite? Which then would that mean? What the fuck is this? Oh. Would they have released Dynamite and Butter and Person to Dance and who knows, what next? What's next? Like, it's just really interesting. I had to say all of that. I know the video's about to end, but I wanted to get all that out now while I just thought about it.
Whose founder emphasizes artistic freedom more than anything else, allowed them to make their own sound. And going back to BTS Universe, it's not often that a K-pop group does something special with each of their songs and albums, utilizing strong storytelling that can go beyond simply the song itself, but rather interconnected with other songs and even other albums to create one large overarching story. And not only do they all have their own expertise in performance, but also each of them have had the experience of writing and producing their own music, and they're not afraid to let their style evolve over time. BTS during their debut is
Yeah.
such a far cry from Wings era BTS and current day
Right.
BTS. They also chose to tackle more adult issues instead of simply love and girls. While they definitely
Right.
didn't have a shortage of those, they also cover other very important issues,
Which
such
is
as
kind of
mental
cringe,
health,
but
regret, following your dreams, hard work, self-love, and many, many many others. Add that to the fact that as fans, we can feel the authenticity of the members themselves. They seem approachable. BTS
J
seems
Hope's
like
smile is
there's a
just
place for
fantastic.
every type of fan. And in this fast paced world where things change at unthinkable speeds, BTS has stayed grounded and faithful to who they were and who they are. Those kids we
Mhm.
saw on American Hustle Life, along with their dreams and passions, are the same men who stand before us today. And while some artists like to keep their personal lives
Hold
and
up.
passions, are the same men who stand before us
Look.
today. And while some artists like to keep their personal
Oh, he
lives
looks so
private,
awkward.
BTS gives us a look at their personal
What was
lives
J Hope
through their
wearing?
vlogs, which allows us to become more connected to them than ever before.
Yep,
What is
which is
truly
huge.
amazing is that, with the exception
Hold up, before the topic changes, it's about to end. That's another big thing too I didn't talk about. How open they are. If I was famous, if I was a singer, or even an actor too, I would be like them where I would be I would talk to my fans a lot because I would actually enjoy it. I would host live streams, which follow me on Twitch. I would host live streams, and want to be talking to, the fans and all that kind of stuff. Like that's exactly how I would be. I wouldn't be like that member where like, yeah, say I'm really famous. I won't, but say I'm really famous like them, you know, so people will think, oh, I have no chance to talk to them or, kind of feel more like one on one with them. No, I want to erase that. If I was famous like that, I would be as transparent as possible. I will hold a shit ton of live streams just to talk to people, respond to as many comments as I can. I know you can't get to everything, but I feel like just doing that does a lot. Um, I feel like that's something that I would do, knowing what my stance is on a global scale of power in terms of if I'm famous or not, but also still being kind of down to earth, like and hosting all these events and stuff like BTS does. That's what I would do, and I think that them doing that too, which allowed us to learn who they are as people and learn their personalities, which by itself will get you attached to somebody, just their personality, right? Yeah. So you add that with their great looks, with their singing and their dancing, and it's just infectious. And then you add that group dynamic. It can be just even beyond that too. Just a group dynamic, just in general, is very appealing. You can have a group of X amount of people, and to other people that might see you, there might be a certain member that might be their favorite, right? But you're also part of that one group, so you have all these personalities all doing the same thing, and that's what makes it so much of a joy to watch. And that's where our biases come from. We watch everything that they do, and like I love Jimin, I love Sugar, I love everyone, but like my one and two, Jimin's my number one, Sugar's my number two. So just me seeing them makes me happy, but then knowing they're also part of that group with that overall structure just makes them just even better. That's just the group dynamic, and I think it's a great thing. And again, not even just being famous, just of regular people, high school, college, whatever, right? Or just your friends, get some of your friends together, do something together all at once, like it's going to be, you guys should be like your own celebrities in a way, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's a whole just side talk. But yeah, I
of
like
just
how they do
one
that.
single, they're doing this all while singing in their native tongue, Korean. Their music holds so
Right,
much power that it literally breaks through the barriers of language.
right,
And no, they're not done yet. Today,
right.
November 20th, they're releasing their fifth studio album, B. Their singles on the album, Dynamite and Life Goes On. And chances are, life will go on for BTS. And chances are
Hmm.
they'll continue to break even more records. They've shown that they're capable of dominating music charts across the world and even reaching across the Pacific Ocean and conquering the music industry in the United States. What's
Yeah.
next for them? Mars? In any case, they've only started
Why'd
in
that make me
2013
laugh?
and
So
BTS is as
stupid.
strong as it's ever been. As far as we know, they will only continue to light it up like a dynamite.
All right. I mean, I should hate him for saying that, but I like him. I like him. He's cool. So I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. All right. Asian theory. Because I was about to say, so what made this guy decide to make this video? You know. Hold on. Let me see. Is there like a? No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, I wonder what made him decide to make this video. But it's definitely a very, very good one. You know, everything I talked about, everything he talked about. I didn't like. I knew about kind of their upbringing a little bit, like their individual backgrounds, like where they came from. But Beyond that, I didn't really know that much. So, fuck, excuse me. So this was a great video to see. I know there is an updated version, which I'm sure will cover Butter. I don't think it would cover Permission to Dance. I don't think. Well, will it even cover Butter? I don't know. But anyway, I decided to do this one because it was the OG, and still I saw when the updated one came out, and when this came out, it wasn't that much of a difference. So I did this one. But definitely an excellent video. Excellent video. Like I said, at first I didn't know what it was going to be about. Now I do. Um, and I am glad I watched it. It's something where it's kind of like it, it didn't feel like homework or anything. It just felt like um I don't know. I felt like I was just going along for a ride, just watching a video of more of their history, I guess, their upbringing. So yeah, definitely a very good video. Subscribe to the homie. That was a great video. But yeah, yeah, I needed that. I didn't know I needed that, but I did. So this video, or yeah, this was 30 minutes, and I'm 5 minutes shy from an hour. So that's pretty impressive. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go. um, I'll put um the other videos that the other songs that I just listened to um in the recommended shit whatever um at the end, and like I was kind of saying with Boy with Love, I think it was that one. Uh, this channel was mainly just posting my live streams from Twitch, which I'm still gonna keep doing when I stream more. But once I kind of get done going through just um the whole BTS journey, I don't know what I'm going to do next. I didn't expect to do reactions. I kind of just did because I thought, since I saw first of all so many people do it, that I felt like let me throw my hat in there too because I'm going down. I'd say I've already gone down the rabbit hole, but because I'm still a new army and I'm still learning about them and I do enjoy them and like them a lot, I said, hey, Army's great, BTS is great. Let me record myself listening to some of these songs for the first time. Why not? So once I get done going through with that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know I'll still be posting live streams and stuff, but after that, I don't know. This wasn't supposed to be like a K-pop reaction channel. I kind of just did stuff on a whim. So like I had some comments saying, "Oh, do Blackpink." I mean, maybe I might, because I am kind of curious. I'll be honest. Uh, but at the same time, I that wasn't what the original plan was, so I might still do some songs from them just because why not? Like if I don't record it, I would still listen to some of those songs anyway just to see what it's about, so I might as well record it. So but like besides those two things, you know, I don't really know what exactly is gonna come from this. The main thing is again Twitch. That's where I'll be doing most of my streaming when it comes to games. I don't remember if I said it in the beginning. I think I did about what I was playing. I got all the consoles. I got no, I did not pay scalpers. I fairly got a PS5 and a Series X. Fairly, I did not scalp. I did not go that low. I just got incredibly lucky. So I got all the consoles. I obviously have a Switch too, but I got all the consoles. So the games I can play is just limitless. It really is. But because I was more Xbox at first, yeah, I just obviously got PS5. So now I'm playing through those iconic PS4 games. So Last of Us Part One right now, Part Two, the whole situation. So I'll do that. So if you like that kind of stuff, again, follow me on Twitch. I put it in my description. But yeah, it's gone long enough. So yeah, I gotta go. I'm also thirsty, so I did a lot of talking. So I gotta go. Me and Perry, thank you for watching. Um, and I don't know what song I'm going to do next. I'll kind of just find out. Might be Idol, to be honest. Might be Idol. I don't really know. But yeah, I want to go for hits an hour just because. So yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Peace.